Once upon a time there was a wolf named Howie who lived deep in a dark forest. Howie was a kind wolf who loved to play and go on adventures. But the other animals were scared of Howie because he was a wolf. One night when the full moon was shining bright, Howie decided to go for a walk. He strolled past the tall trees and jumped over fallen logs. The moonlight made his fur glow like silver. Then Howie stopped and looked up at the huge yellow moon. It seemed to be smiling down at him. Howie smiled back and let out a happy howl. Suddenly, Howie heard shouts and screams coming from the forest village nearby. "A wolf! A wolf!" cried the frightened villagers. Howie was confused. Why were they afraid of his howl? He was just saying hello to the friendly moon. But the villagers grabbed their torches and pitchforks and raced towards the sound of Howie's howl. Howie's animal friend saw the mob heading into the forest. "Run, Howie!" squeaked Allie the squirrel. "Hide, Howie!" hooted Woody the owl. But Howie did not want to run and hide. He wanted to talk to the villagers and explain that he was not scary. But when Howie saw the angry crowd coming closer, he got nervous. What if they did not listen? What if they tried to hurt him? The wise old owl said, "Howie, sometimes people do not understand what they have not tried to understand." So Howie turned and raced deeper into the dark woods. He could hear the villagers shouting as they searched for him with their torches held high. Howie hid in the hollow of a tall oak tree and peered out at the bobbing lights. His heart pounded loudly in his chest. What would happen if they found him? Soon the sound of the mob faded away. Howie curled up to go to sleep, feeling sad that the villagers saw him as a scary wolf instead of who he really was. He closed his eyes and dreamed the villagers learned that wolves were not big and bad, but just wanted friendship. In the morning, Howie woke up feeling hopeful. Maybe there was a way to show the villagers he was kind. He would go to the village and prove they did not need to be afraid of him. But Howie's friend Alan the raccoon said, "They'll chase you away with their brooms and pitchforks. It's too dangerous." Howie knew his friends were just trying to protect him. But he wanted so badly for the villagers to understand that he was not scary. So that night, when the full moon rose again into the inky sky, Howie headed for the village. He stopped just at the edge of the forest. The moonlit dirt paths between the small houses were empty. All the villagers were snug in their beds, afraid of the wolf in the woods. Howie had an idea. He walked into the middle of the village square, sat back on his haunches, and let out a long, loud howl, "AWO." It echoed through the quiet village. Soon lights flickered on in the houses and the villagers rushed out with their torches. When they saw Howie sitting there, they gasped. The biggest, bravest man raised his torch and demanded, "Wolf, what are you doing here?" Howie looked directly at the man and said in a gentle voice, "Please don't be afraid. I am not here to hurt anyone. I just want you to know that wolves are not big and bad. We only howl at the moon to say hello. Please give us a chance and get to know us before you judge us." The villagers looked stunned. They whispered to each other, "Did that wolf just talk?" Howie stayed very still as the man took a few steps toward him. "You can talk?" the man asked. Howie nodded his big furry head. "Well then. Hello." The man reached out his hand carefully. Howie stretched out his paw and they shook hands. The rest of the villagers slowly came over to meet Howie. They saw that he was gentle and sweet. "Thank you for giving me a chance," Howie told them. "All creatures of the forest just want to be friends." From that night on, Howie visited the village every full moon. The villagers waited for his howl and then came out to pet him and give him treats. They had bonfires and listened as Howie's forest friends came out of hiding to sing and tell stories. Everyone lived together in harmony.